Don't you just love the way she plays the piano? And we're going to have Daniela Schächter call in and talk with us here at the U. So I hope you're getting tuned in. And if you have any questions to ask her, feel free to call in at area code 314-516-8438. We're listening to the music of Daniela Schächter off of her new album Van Heusenism, a tribute to Jimmy Van Heusen. Hello.
Yes? Hi, can you hear me?
Good, yeah, hi. It does help to push one more button. We are getting tuned in here. Hold on.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay. I'm bringing this. We got a new guy come on, and we're getting ready to patch you in.
Yes.
Heavy D, you there?
I'm here.
Yes, I'm here.
How are you doing?
Oh, hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. And what's your name?
Daniela Schächter.
Okay, well, that's great. I'm glad you took some time out of your busy schedule to call in and talk with us here at the U.
Yes, I'm glad that you asked me for an interview. Thank you.
Yeah. We've got Heavy D co-hosting the Spaces of Place radio program tonight with St. Louis Steve, and we've got Daniela Schächter. Am I pronouncing that good enough?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Let me hear how you say it, though.
Schächter.
Ooh, yeah, that's more of a hard K there.
You got a real lyrical sound.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, I'm understanding that you're really from Italy. Is that, you were born in Italy?
I was born in Sicily.
Oh, Sicily. Is Sicily,
Yes.
that's across the,
This,
what is that? It's across the sea?
yeah.
Yes.
From Italy.
It's an island. It's an island of Italy.
Okay, now, let me ask you, did you get offended when people think that you're Italian? Versus,
No.
It's pretty much about the same?
It's pretty much about the same, although Sicilian culture is pretty strong, and I'm proud of being Sicilian, definitely.
Well, yeah, that's what's cool about it, because sometimes I notice when I talk to people from Austria, and other people are saying, "Oh, you're from Germany," and it's like, "No, I'm from Austria," and it's like, "Oh, excuse me," So I just didn't want to be rude and get, I know how the Italians are.
Yes. No, Germany and Austria are two different countries. But,
Yes.
Sicily is part of it.
And Sicily is part of Italy. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Just like
we're getting a geography lesson here at the U.
Just like going from St. Louis to East St. Louis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of, sort of,
Right.
Only a river separating us. And really it's the same river.
Yeah. Now, is there a good way to get to like Italy from where you're at? Is there like a bridge, or what is there?
No, there is no bridge.
No
You
bridge.
take a ferry boat.
Oh.
Yeah, so they've been trying to build a bridge, but no one wants a bridge.
Yeah.
So Sicilians don't want the bridge because it would ruin the landscape, and so the environment would be definitely damaged if we had a bridge there. But definitely, yes.
It's a nice. I can't believe this microphone. Okay, you hearing us? Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, Daniela.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay,
All right.
because our telephoner microphone is kind of feeding back, and we want to make sure that you're heard and that you're hearing us.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, good. So, yeah.
Yeah, that building bridges kind of takes away from the historical concept or aspect of a countryside or whatever.
That's correct.
In terms of you're gonna probably create more traffic. People
Exactly.
be trying. Whereas you guys, I don't know. I'm just kind of surmising, but you guys probably travel by boat, buggy, wagon, or whatever, to the various countrysides. But, if they would bring bridges in, that means you got cars and trucks and the like, jamming up the traffic and creating a real havoc, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, when you compare that to Boston, how is Boston connecting over to New York? It's a pretty far drive.
Well, I used to commute between New York and Boston all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in New York for several years, and then I lived in New Jersey as well. And because I've been teaching at Berklee College of Music for 9 years, I've been commuting, and I finally moved back to Boston. And I can tell you that the commute, anyway, was pretty rough.
Yeah.
And took a lot of my time, and I'm so happy now to be able to go to work and just enjoy my free time and compose more and practice more, have more of a social life. So I'm very happy now.
That's good. Because Berkeley is not even spelt the same way as Berkeley out in California, right?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
Is the Berkeley University that you teach at? It's not spelt like Berkley?
No, not K-A, no, E-Y. No, it's E-E at the end.
E that helps make a difference.
Double E, right.
So when people hear
Yeah.
Berkeley, they might think out in California, but this is
California.
in
That's
Boston.
Right. So yes, it's Berklee College of Music in Boston. Yes.
Now, you were able to get a scholarship. That's what brought you across from Sicily over to the United States. Is that was that like when
Correct.
you were still pretty young, and you were able
Yeah.
to?
Well, it was about 17 years ago.
Wow.
I
Okay.
received a
So you.
scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a scholarship to study at Berkeley, and I thought I would stay just 6 months, and I just wanted to do an experience and just know more musicians and go to U.S. for the first time. And then I decided to stay longer and then longer, and now here I am in 17 years.
Yeah, they held on to you and put you to work there, I guess. Is that what?
Yes.
Before you were like learning, and now you are kind of like the one teaching, I guess, there.
Yes.
Okay. We've got a similar setup here on our campus. We've got Stella Marcoux, who came over from close to Greece area country, and she is our director of vocal studies, and she's a soprano singer. I would love to hear her sing with your piano playing sometime.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
I'm going to tell her about you. She's amazing, an amazing soprano. And
Wow, that's beautiful.
yeah, and I just want to say that we've been playing and spinning your music, and I just love how you play the piano. I was
Thank you so much.
I was getting into it earlier, and I was just like, you seem to carry you away, while you're going jamming. You know what I'm talking about, Heavy D?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a euphoric sound, where you kind of blend in with, and you feel what you're doing and playing, as opposed to some people just kind of follow a script, jump down and hit a few notes and try to woo the crowd.
Well,
But,
she's jamming too. I think it's very jazzy,
Right. Well, it definitely
That's correct.
Yeah.
definitely crosses over the boundaries of into jazz. Kind of like folklore to jazz or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. Now,
That's good you hear that because, actually when we recorded this album, we were basically playing live in one of the studios here at Berkeley, and we rehearsed the tunes, and then at the end we played all the tunes one after the other, like we would do in a concert.
Oh, cool.
And so we had little separation between each other, so we didn't really do a lot of editing, and we really got into a great connection. And yeah, you're right. I felt very very in the zone,
Right.
and I led myself into the music, which is not something that happens all the time when you record, because you are worried about the time in the studio, and you're concerned about your playing and your sound, and the headphones. It's not exactly that like a stage, but we felt very good in that recording session, and probably that it came across, and that's probably what you hear.
Yeah, well, you have a really kick band that's playing with you too. I mean, everybody is performing well, very well.
Thank you.
You want to kind of give a shout out to who's playing with you on this album?
Sure. Well, Mark Walker, drummer. He's a teacher here at Berkeley, but he tours with Paquito de Rivera, and he plays with a lot of vocalists like Karen Allison, and he plays with the group Oregon, and so he's been touring since he was very young, and now he teaches at Berkeley, but he still tours.
Did you say he
Walker.
plays with? Whoa. Slow down.
Yes.
Sometimes it goes a little bit overboard, and catching feedback from something.
I see.
Oh, sorry. And you were talking about your drummer, Mark Walker.
Yeah. Mark Walker.
You had said that he was playing with the band. Did you say Oregon? Oregon, like the state Oregon.
Yeah, like the state or
Okay, because there is a band called Oregon that you got to check out. They are,
really?
they are amazing. They play funk, soul kind of music, and I think you'd like them. But I'm going to check this Oregon out. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Because your drummer has really got a tight beat that he's playing. He's very good. I like the style.
Oh yeah, he's great, and he's very versatile. He plays a lot of different styles, but his strength is definitely the Latin and all the Latin grooves, because he's been playing a lot for a long time with Paquito de Rivera. And then Mike Tucker, saxophone player, he's much younger, and he also teaches here at Berkeley College of Music, and he's just an amazing player. I mean, you hear him; he's really, really soulful, and he is very respectful of the vocals, and we play very well together. And with Mark Walker and Mike Tucker, we went to Japan several times, and we taught there, and we did some tours. So we played together quite a bit.
Wow,
And
that's cool.
with Michael O'Brien,
The bass player?
he's from New York. Yeah, he's from New York, and it's just great. We played. He plays with a lot of musicians in New York. He's really in demand. But
Well, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
You already were like into this music of Jimmy Van Heusen.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of got you inspired to do this tribute album?
Well, I was playing some of his music, and just 2 or 3 tunes, and then I in 2013 in 2013 I was interviewed by a producer. His name is Jim Burns, and he was preparing a documentary on the life and the music of Jimmy Van Heusen.
Oh.
And so he did some interviews, and I recorded some excerpts, musical excerpts for him. And so I started, getting more interested in his music, and I started exploring more of his repertoire, and I discovered a lot of great music, and I'm still discovering a lot of great music from him. So I'm thinking, that maybe one day I will maybe record another volume of.
Oh wow, that'd be volume 2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you could almost
because he wrote,
VV.
Yeah, he wrote like more than 800 songs, and 50
Oh my God.
of those songs became jazz standards. So there is plenty of music that I can explore.
Yeah. Now, of these songs, how did you get the band turned on, inspired to his music, or were they pretty much into this kind of music to go, or how did they pick up their traditional and songs that they know how to play it automatic?
Well, they definitely are so musical that I need to tell them very little. They kind of know what to do, and this is why I chose them, because I knew that they would interpret this music perfectly and in the way I was expecting. So, and even more, they started giving me some advices, and it was an interaction really when we were recording, when they started giving me ideas too, and some endings and some other things that were like were ideas that came up while we were playing. So it was a very spontaneous session, and I chose them because I knew that they would play this music really well.
Well, good choice, because we should be sharing a little bit of the tunes so our listeners can get an idea of how you sound if they haven't already heard. We were playing some of your music earlier, but do we want to take a short break here and play a little bit of Come Fly With Me and then come right back? Stay on the line?
Sure.
Okay. Why don't we do that?
I got a question, Danielle.
Yes?
In categorizing your music, would you, since you have such seemingly freestyle, would you say that it was more in the line of? Are you familiar with the avant-garde?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yes.
You know, with John Coltrane and those guys. His pianist McCoy Tyner.
Oh, I love McCoy Tyner. He's one of my idols.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm old jazz head from way back, so I had to pose that question to you and see.
Well, I'm sure she jams a bunch of similar McCoy Tyner, you know, and I think you were even did some kind of Thelonious Monk thing.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't you? So she's all over the jazz map.
Right.
You know, it's amazing all the tunes that she's playing. You know, but yeah, you know, gotta love Coltrane
and Ahmad Jamal.
Oh yeah, of course.
You play any Ahmad Jamal tunes?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Ahmad Jamal.
Yeah, those are pianists from way back in the jazz world. You know.
Hey, well, while we're talking about all these greats, let's play this "Come Fly with Me." It's a Van Heusenism and Jimmy Van Heusen, and who's this S. Khan? It's
Oh, this is Sammy Cahn. This is the lyricist.
okay.
So it's music by Jimmy Van Heusen, and this song was written by Sammy Cahn. So this is a lyricist that composed a lot of, wrote a lot of lyrics for his music, and a lot of music for. They both wrote music for Frank Sinatra together.
Wow.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in Far Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Lama Land, there's a one-man band, and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just fly starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Let's fly away.
Yeah. Woo. Put the pot on, let it burn.
Yeah, Mr. Mike Tucker on the sax.
Tell he been listening to some Coltrane.
Okay, here we go. Danielle's going to tear up these keys.
She's doing the damn thing. break out my keyboard. Got one catching dust at home.
Mine needs a good too.
You got one of those ones that you can program.
Wow. What kind of piano is that? A Steinway? We're going to bring this back down.
Bosendorfer.
What were you saying?
It's a Bosendorfer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a European brand actually.
Does it have, is it a little bit of electronic in it too?
Oh no.
No, it's a regular kind of
Yeah.
upright or whatever.
No, it's a Grand Coda.
Okay. I'm looking at your album cover and it looks like you're playing a Steinway.
Oh, that's my piano. That's the piano I have at home. That's my
Oh,
piano.
okay. And
Yeah.
so when you go out and gig, do you play with one of those electric pianos?
Well, I rather play with a piano, with a real piano. In some places, there is a keyboard there, so I play with the keyboard that is provided at the venue. But I usually prefer to play in venues that have a piano, an acoustic piano.
Oh yeah, that makes it nice rather than have.
This is an interesting story, but it's pretty long, so I need to make it short.
Okay.
For you. So he is a great guitar player, and he teaches here at Berklee College of Music. But he's been teaching here for almost 20 years. But we never met here at Berklee in Boston. We work on separate floors, but so we never met each other until 2 years ago in 2014. We were sent by Berklee to do a workshop in LA, in Santa Monica, and we did a workshop there, and that's called Berklee in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And we were put together as a team to teach a class. So every class had 2 teachers, and we were teaching together, and that's how I met my husband.
Oh,
So
that's
I never
great.
met him in Boston, and then I met him in California, and then everything started from there. So we have a special relationship with LA, and last year he taught at Berklee in LA again, and I went and visited him, and we celebrated our first meeting. And so that's how I met him.
Well, how does it? Where he plays guitar, you say,
Yes.
and teaches it. Now, maybe he'll be on one of your upcoming albums. Because I'm looking. You don't have a guitar player on this Van Heusenism. Let me think. At least that I see on the list here. You got a bass player. Maybe you could fit into at least one of the songs. Are you working on any future albums, or are you still tired from producing this one? Because this just got released back in September, didn't it?
Right. So I'm gonna take a little break before I release a new CD. But maybe in the future I will play with my husband. But for now, we have 2 separate groups, and.
Oh, okay. So he
great.
does play out too.
Yeah. He has his own trio, and I have my own trio or quartet. So we play a lot, and I go and see him as well. And so he's very busy with that too. So we have different projects, but I think in the future it might be that we will play together. It's just that it didn't happen yet. But as I told you, we met only in 2014, so we've been enjoying our relationship, and it's going really great right now without playing together. So we don't want to ruin it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm just
There's-
thinking. Maybe it's better that you don't, at least for a while.
Yeah, like I don't know, we don't need it right now. Maybe in the future,
Uh-huh.
when we will have a little bit more time. And but for now, it's great like this.
Yeah, I could imagine your house. You've got guitar going in one part of the house, and you're playing the piano in the other, and then you go in
Yep.
to the other room and you're singing in like the bathroom. There's probably a lot of music bouncing through your walls at your household.
Oh yeah, it is. There is. Plus, my mom listens to music all the time as
Uh-huh.
well. So it's I have a room where I have my piano, and Julian, my husband, has a room where he has all his guitars, and in the basement also he has other guitars and amplifiers, and we keep there a drum set, and I have also Rhodes and a Fender Rhodes, and I keep it downstairs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we have music everywhere.
Yeah. Now, do you ever venture into like organ type music?
No, not yet. I started organ when I was here at Berkeley as a student, and I did take some classes. But it's an instrument that you need to really have at home, and then it's hard. I'm a small person. I'm not, I mean, it's taking that to gigs, and it would be very, very difficult. In fact, I took my Rhodes only to just a few places because it's way too heavy.
Too heavy,
And,
yeah.
Yeah. So no, for now I'm not interested in organ music, but I love it. I love the organ, and I started. I could definitely go back to it, but I don't know. There is so much to do that it's very difficult
Yeah.
to choose what to do first.
Yeah, I like some of it in funk music. That band we were just talking about, Argonne, instead of Oregon, Argonne. They've got a keyboard organist player that really, it's got that wonderful music sound to it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, Danielle,
Yes.
this is Heavy D once again.
Yeah.
Pardon me, I'm trying to get over the heebie-jeebies. Matter of fact, this is my first week back, and I have to go to choir rehearsal. I'm going to be getting out of here soon. I sing in the church choir and president of the male chorus at my church. But I was wondering if you had done anything on the xylophone.
Can you repeat that? If I have done?
Yeah, have you ventured off into playing the xylophone? Like Lionel Hampton? He's one.
Oh, okay. No, I have not. No.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Now I heard it. Yeah. No xylophone. No. I like the sound of it, and but no, right now there is no space in my music for xylophone, so I'll stay with piano, and eventually sometimes electric piano and the singing part.
Yeah, that's kind of a unique instrument because we've only had, like I say, one that I can think of down through the years, outstanding xylophone player, and that was Lionel Hampton. And
Yeah.
I think he's deceased now. I don't know. Do you know Steve?
Yeah,
Yes,
I believe
yes.
so. Yeah.
Because he was from the old school, back there with Count Basie and Duke Ellington and all those guys. So do you reside in Berkeley and teach there, or do you transmute back and forth?
In Boston is where Berkeley is.
Oh, Berkeley and Boston.
Yeah, she's not the one out in California.
Oh, so
Yes.
that's where you're residing now.
Yeah, that's where I reside now. Yes. I keep confusing you because I say Berkeley, but I should say Berkeley College of Music.
Right. I always dreamed of going to this is Boston Conservatory School of Arts.
Oh, yeah, there is a Boston Conservatory, and actually now Berkeley College of Music just merged the Boston Conservatory, so they are together now.
Wow.
Because I think
Yeah.
that's where Wynton Marsalis graduated from, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now it's they are merging, and so I'm getting some students from Boston Conservatory as well, and so there is like a lot of interaction, but we just started the merging processes, so it's gonna take some time until we really can see the results, but it's very interesting.
Now, how do you work out on your students? Are you teaching mainly piano, or are you teaching vocals?
I teach both.
Both.
I teach piano in the piano department and vocals in the voice department, and also have some labs. And so I have some classes. And
now, are you getting pretty much raw talent given to you? I'm not saying beginners, but somewhat beginners.
Well, I get all kind of students because the population of Berkeley College students is growing year after year. So it's growing, and so I get returning students. And I have students that stay with me for semester after semester, and then there are some new entering students. So I get those too. So I have a variety of students.
And I'm just curious. I don't mean to ask dumb questions, but like if a student wants to be in the band or whatever for the university, is there like a tryout for them to even get to that point to where you're even taking them in? Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, are you talking about auditions?
Audition.
Yeah, audition.
Like
yeah. I mean, what do you have to do to qualify to get into actually where you're teaching them?
The audition. Yeah. Or you're talking about teaching or about students?
The student.
As a student.
Yeah, student. Yeah.
You need to pass an audition, and there are online auditions and live auditions in. Not just here at Berkeley, but all over the world. And there are some workshops that Berkeley does where gives out scholarships. And so, yes.
Okay, so when you get the talent, it is already pretty darn whipped into shape. It's not like a slab of meat raw meat thrown at you that you got to prepare it.
Well, sometimes it is because there are some students that enter and they have a little bit of knowledge. I mean, although they pass the audition, but they maybe are still at the first level. So there are different ratings that they go through. So if they are talented but they don't know much about music, or they are they cannot read, for example, they get all like ones, and then if they already know a lot about music, they can improvise, maybe they get all fives. So and then they will get placed into like ensembles that are appropriate for them, or with teachers that are good for them, according to the style. And so it's every student has a different situation. So, but yes, they need to go through an audition, and then before getting into Berkeley, and then they will also do an audition, like an entering audition, so to be placed in the right
Well,
classes.
and see, I can relate to so much. I'm not really any good at playing certain instruments, but I love music so much. I'd love to, be a student, but I don't think I'm good enough to even be a student. Because the
Well, let's go on
the talent here is unbelievable.
Why don't we go on the buddy plane?
Yeah,
Maybe if I give you a slight rendition, Daniela, of my talents, maybe you can decipher where I might fit in.
you got some good vocals. I know.
Say if I come to Boston, old Sinatra tune, "Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, did I qualify?
That's beautiful. Yeah.
You would get already like straight 7.
Oh, yeah?
Wow, that's great. Now here's my love is a many splendid thing.
No.
I still got to work at it. Okay.
I'm joking.
Oh, as he gets knocked, thrown out of the room.
You get gone, huh?
Well, yeah.
Actually, talking about my husband,
Yeah.
he does a lot of auditions, actually, live auditions here at Berkeley, and also, sometimes he travels for that as well. And believe me, he sometimes, I shouldn't say that, but he sometimes records the students if they are really, really bad, and then he sends the audio files to me to listen to them, and sometimes we laugh. I mean,
You kind of critique it, huh?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a horrible thing, but sometimes it's like so funny because some students, we can't believe that some students have the courage to actually just present themselves like that, thinking that, this is like a music school of, it's a college, and we can't believe that.
Well, you got to have a challenge of being able to teach them,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
There's quite a bit
There is
of
limit.
challenging students around here.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I got to go to choir rehearsal now. But I'd like for you to leave your email address or whatever.
I've got all her info with
Okay,
you. I'll
well-
get it to you.
Perfect.
My name is David Weston Clinton, a.k.a. Heavy D on the mic, here at the U. And,
Well, Dave, it was great meeting you.
you also, like I say, I'm kind of free to travel, so you might look up and see me in Boston anytime.
Yeah,
yeah.
or maybe she could come and play for us here in St. Louis.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my next questions is, do you see any travel time in the future, I know it probably has to be next year now, probably when school's out or whatever, but,
Think about it because actually there is a teacher from here. Her name is Jen Shapiro. Shapiro, and she's a great vocalist. And she was chair of the department, of the voice department first here, and then she's teaching right now. But then she's going to go back to St. Louis. That's where she's from, and she told me that when she moves back to St. Louis, she wants to invite me.
Oh,
So,
Well, there we go.
this can happen sooner than we think, huh?
Did you say her name's Janice?
Janet Shapiro.
Jen Shapiro.
Jen.
Jen Shapiro.
Jen?
Jan. Jen
Shapiro.
Shapiro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
She's originally from St. Louis, and she's gonna go back and live there, like probably in about a year. I'm not sure exactly, but she has family there already,
Right.
so she just wants to go back to where she's
Well,
from.
and speaking of Jan, did you heard of Jen, the Jazz Education Network?
Oh yeah, of course.
Have you
yeah.
been involved with that? 'Cause didn't they have something in Boston? We had Jen here at UMSL back around 6 years ago or so, and I think because they changed the name. It was a different name before, and they changed
Yeah,
it to
was
Jen.
Yeah.
And and I noticed on your website you had a picture of you with Rufus Reed, and we actually
yeah.
had Rufus Reed here at the U, and we got to have him jam and talk with us and everything. And there was a lot of really good talent that came through that Jen. John Clayton was here, and
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I'm thinking that they might have a Jen at your college. I don't know. I don't know when the next Gen is even going to be, or where it's going to be. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Well, I attended many times, and I played also. It was called like IAJE, and but it's been a long time now. But yes, I will definitely come and visit one of these days. Of course, I just need to wait for the right time, and at this point I will wait for Jan Shapiro to invite me there. But I'll definitely let you know when I'm there around, because I love to meet you in person.
Yeah, well, we'd love to meet you also. And have you run across a saxophone player? He's from St. Louis, named Oliver Lake.
No.
He's in New York, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Oliver Lake, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he's been out there for some time.
Yeah, in New York there are so many musicians, that.
I know. Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
That's a panacea for musicians.
Now, how does it work on your gigging there? Do you play out at like wine clubs or certain places locally there in Boston, or do you go gig somewhere else?
Well, I do both. There are some places where I perform steadily, and then I have other places where I perform every once.
Yeah. Well, if someone like me was to come to Boston, where would be a good place to go hear some really kick jazz?
Well, you can go. Well, the good clubs here are like Scholars and Regatta Bar and Riles. So those are probably the best places. But there are some other places that now are really good and have great musicians. This place called Thelonious Monkfish is really a cool place, and I know the name is funny, but is really a great place, and the piano is so beautiful there, always in tune, in great condition. So the stage and the sound on stage is so great.
Huh. I think that if I ever make it to Boston, which it may happen someday, my wife actually went on the East Coast with a bunch of her friends, and I think I'm supposed to go next year. So maybe, who knows what's going to... But I'm definitely in the mood to make it to Boston. That whole area.
Oh, definitely.
I've been to New York City, and it is like a whole nother world there.
Yeah, I've been myself.
Same as Chicago.
20
Chicago's
years
huge
ago.
too.
Exactly.
It makes St. Louis look so teeny.
Yeah, well, if you are coming to the East Coast, maybe you should check my website, DanielaSchächter.com, and then there you find where my performances are, under itinerary, and then
Okay.
to see like where I play, because I play in Boston, but I just played, for example, in New York, and I played in Philadelphia as well, and so I'm always playing around, and of course I play also overseas. With this group, we're going to Java Jazz Festival in Indonesia
Wow.
in March. So it's going to be, so it's, we
That's,
keep performing, and we keep going, and we keep growing, and so it's an ongoing.
now, are the Indonesia people pulling you to them, or how does that work? I mean, because it's quite a distance. There's got to be some pull,
Well, they have a huge festival in Jakarta. It's called Java Jazz Festival, and they
Invited you?
They have like international artists, and they have it every year, and they have really a great lineup. And I already played there in 2006, and it was already beautiful. But now it grew much more since then. And so I look forward to that.
Yeah, because there's a similar
beautiful.
one in Turkey, in Istanbul.
Oh yeah. There's one there too. Well, there are a lot of jazz festivals. It's just hard to get into one of them, because the bureaucracy and how you meet people, it's very difficult. And everybody wants to play in jazz festivals, and it's hard to communicate.
Yeah, well, I was
with,
thinking maybe your record label, or maybe even Kate Smith Promotions was bringing it to Indonesia and promoting your new album. How about that?
Well, yes,
That would be a great thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe I can think about it, and definitely, but we'll see. Well, they have a great.
Well, at least bring some with you for sure.
Oh yeah, I will definitely. Last time I was there, I sold a lot of CDs. So in those countries, they still buy CDs.
Now, you have 3 CDs, right?
This is my fourth.
Fourth. This is your fourth one. Okay, because you had. I
Yeah.
thought it was just 3 other ones. Oh, it is. It is 3 other ones. That's right.
Yeah.
I like the one about the butterfly. Was it
Oh, yeah?
purple butterfly?
Pearl Butterfly. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, Danielle, I hate to run, but like I said, I got choir rehearsal at 7 o'clock, and I got to
okay.
catch a couple of
Yeah, I have.
DJ
train on the
Happy.
bus. But
We could talk all night long.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. You're so fun to talk with, and we're going to play some more of your music and spin it. So I don't need to keep on going. Because I don't want to bore you.
and then I'm gonna leave you with are you aware of King Pleasure?
Oh, well, my pleasure meeting you guys, Dave and Steve. And I look forward to receiving your emails. And, so let's keep in touch. And maybe when I come to St. Louis, I'll let you know. And,
Right.
we'll meet. We'll definitely meet.
Yeah, I was saying, are you familiar with King Pleasure? The Moody's Mood for Love?
Oh, wow. Yeah, Moody's Mood for Love.
Like,
Yeah.
do I go?
I go.
Baby, baby, you are the soul that snaps my control.
Yeah.
Such a funny thing, but every time I'm near you, I really can't explain. You give me a smile and then I'm wrapped up in your magic. There's music all around me, crazy music that keeps drawing me so very close to you. Turns me your slave.
Know the whole thing.
Oh, I'm not afraid. If there's a cloud up above us, go on and let it rain. I'm sure our love together will endure a hurricane. Oh, my dear baby.
Yeah, hey, that's good. What can you continue that on a little bit?
What is it?
Can you continue that same song on a little bit? Were you?
Oh no,
you
I
were,
don't know. The
It sounded
lyrics
like
for
you
that
were
song.
singing along with them there, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
almost to the point where, hey, Heavy D, be quiet, let her sing. But you were sounding
no,
okay
no,
too.
sorry. Yeah, well, I heard her. I have heard this song many, many times. I never really learned it just because there are so many lyrics. But
That's
with
a
the-
old school. You have to really,
Yeah,
you have to have your breathing together to sing it.
Hey, you have to write down the name of that tune because I have to put it in the
Pull it up.
Spinatron. Yeah.
Moody's Move for Love. King Pleasure is the artist.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here, write it down because I'm doing something over here.
Where is it? Didn't you have a pad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Well,
it was a pleasure.
I like polka dots and moonbeams too,
Oh yeah, I like that.
and I like every. Oh, you got this was such a cool selection of tunes that you got here. Because
Thank you.
I'm wondering if any of these tunes were actually made into are used in movies. Do you know?
Oh yeah. Actually, for example, here's that rainy day was in a movie and also in a musical.
Oh.
Yeah, like from Carnival in Flanders, and
Come Fly With Me, I think, was in a movie.
yeah, that was like a tune that was like composed specifically for Frank Sinatra, and then actually, John the Dream was from a musical too, like Swing in the Dream, and it was like one of the first hit of Jimmy Van Heusen, and
cool.
yeah, so that was.
Don't you just love jazz? Oh my God,
I'm telling you,
it's so great.
so far reaching.
And this is so perfect, exactly what I need to hear when this last day or two have been kind of rough on me and probably 90% of the people out in the world are really going through some craziness right now. So it's good to take a break and listen to some good jazz,
That's
Exactly.
that's really great you say that because it's it's a very very hard moment. One of my favorite actually tunes in this album is the second time around, and this is also from a movie like with Bing Crosby.
Okay.
This movie is called High Time. So
High
a lot of
Time.
music of this, yeah, High Time.
High Time?
Yeah, High Time.
Okay. I'm going to
So,
play
a
that
lot of
next.
this music-
We'll play second time around. And because I was going to play Polka Dots and Moonbeams, but since you talked about the second time around, I'm going to play
Oh,
that.
but you
It's
know,
much
polka
sweeter
dots is great
with
too.
both feet on
Yeah, I'll
the
play
ground.
that after.
Very-
But I'm curious now about the movie that.
And then yeah, well, you go with that, and then next time you can play the second time around. Just follow the original idea you had about polka dots. I love polka dots.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks again so much for taking time.
Thank you.
And we'll keep spinning your music here at the U, and one of these days we might connect.
Exactly.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Dave.
Sayonara.
Steve. Great meeting you guys.
Good to meet you.
Bye.
Bye.
A country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an oh, beg your pardon. Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around a bug-nosed dream. The music started and was I the perplexed one. I held my breath and said, may I have the next one in my frightened arms? Polka dots and moonbeams sparkle on a bug-nosed stream. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we floated over the floor. a cottage built of lilacs and laughter. I know the meaning of the words ever after, and I always see polka dots and moonbeams when I kiss the buck-nosed tree.
country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an oh, beg your pardon. Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around the bug-nose ring. The music started and was I the perplexed one? I held my breath and said, may I have the next one in my frightened arms? Polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a bug-nose ring. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers as we floated over the floor. There were questions, but my heart knew all the answers, and perhaps a few things more. Now in a cottage built of lilacs and laughter, I know the meaning of the words ever after, and I always see polka dots and moonbeams when I kiss a bug-nose tree. And I always see polka dots and moonbeams when I kiss the bug-nose tree. heart from sight, lock your dreams at night. It could happen to you. Don't count stars, so you might stumble. Someone drops a sigh and down you tumble. Keep an eye on swinging round when church bells ring. It could happen to you. All I did was wonder how your arms could be, and it happened to me. lock your dreams at night. It could happen to you. Don't count stars so you might stumble. Someone drops inside and down you tumble. Keep an eye on swinging round when church bells ring. It could happen to you. All I did was wonder how your arms could be, and it happened to me. irresponsible. Call me unreliable. Throw in undependable too. Do my foolish alibis bore you? Well, I'm not too clever. I just adore you. Call me unpredictable. Tell me I'm impractical. Rainbows I'm inclined to pursue. Call me irresponsible. Yes, I'm unreliable, but it's undeniably true. I'm irresponsibly mad for you. Unpredictable. Tell me I'm impractical. Rainbows I'm inclined to pursue. Call me irresponsible. Yes, I'm unreliable, but it's undeniably true. is funny, or it's sad, or it's quiet, or it's mad. It's a good thing, or it's bad, but beautiful, but beautiful to take a chance. And if you fall, you will fall. And I'm thinking I wouldn't mind at all. Love is cheerful or it's gay. It's a problem or it's play. It's a heartache either way, but beautiful. And I'm thinking, if you were mine, I never let you go. And that would be but beautiful. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Love is funny, or it's sad, or it's quiet, or it's mad. It's a good thing, or it's bad, but beautiful, but beautiful to take a chance. And if you fall, you will fall. love is cheerful or it's gay. It's a problem or it's play. It's a heartache either way. But beautiful. And I'm thinking, if you were mine, I'd never let you go. And that would be but beautiful. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know.
Okay, that's about a wrap. I thought about you too. We could do that, but we'll use that for the second time around. With Daniela Schächter, and I'm so happy that she took time to call in and talk with us here at the U. So we are going to shift gears and play some Mint Cool